of you have wondered if Nintendo had revealed too much information on Breath of the Wild before now? I think everyone has taken that back now because this new trailer is going to put all of us theorists behind schedule for weeks! If you're watching this analysis before you watch the actual trailer, then let me say that you are stupid and I'm ashamed to have you as a viewer. Alright, so here we have an ocean and there's a shrine over to the right. And see here, there's seagulls, so this is definitely the ocean and not just some sort of huge lake. Let's just say I've never seen anything like this before, so I don't know what to make of it. However, all the palm trees may signify that it's still in the beach area. Now this is still the beach because you can see seals right here and they're rolling over. Next we have a winterscape, and that looks like an Arctic fox. Alright, you see there's palm trees over there, so the beach is relatively close to the forest. Okay, now we made it to the forest, possibly Kakariko. But see, as we get in, we can see all the quarks, so this is probably definitely Kakariko, and I don't know about you, but that is definitely the Great Deku Tree. But, look right here. What is that? First time I watch it, I'm like, you mean it's there? So this is like mind-blowing. And here for the first time we actually see the Master Sword is glowing. Now here we are in Hyrule Field where Link is looking out to the wide open world. Now this right here is some sort of bridge. I don't know exactly where it leads to or what it's for, but it reminds me a lot of the wooden scaffolding that you saw in the E3 trailer that was in that canyon-like place. Now here he is walking through some ruins, and this voice
is also the history of the Calamity Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
I don't know about you, but I think that's Impa. Okay, now here's Resurrection Tower and Calamity Ganon. And what's this right here? I have no idea what this is. I think it may be the creation of Ganon's monsters to plague the world of Hyrule. Now here's a guardian, but if you look in the upper left corner, there's a building right there, so this has to be some sort of village. Here's a rock monster. Now let's stop right here. Now right here, Link is being pulled by some sort of creature. It has these long teeth, and I think it's some kind of walrus. But there's this creature coming up right here, but we need to know the location first. Now look there, you can see palm trees, so this is clearly at the beach. And from judging from the creature's appearance, it looks like it's some sort of dragon or reptile. Now this is a fire-breathing lizard folks. And here's the giant moblin we saw in the Switch trailer. And then this guy is really cool. He looks like some kind of Sheikah warrior with like an ice sword. Now here's a village we haven't seen before, or have we? If you look at it, it has a couple of windmills. Where have we seen windmills before? The only two places I can think of is Kakariko Village and Windfall Island. But then look at this circled area. What does that look like? Well, it looks like none other than the Choo Choo Jelly Shop. And there was no Choo Choo Jelly Shop in Kakariko Village, so it has to be some form of Windfall Island. Now this looks like some sort of exotic town, but look right here. Now let's zoom up on it. Now what does it look like? Yep, you guessed it, it is none other than a town in Gerudo Valley. Which means that we will indeed be seeing a revival of the Gerudo tribe from Ocarina of Time. Here's a guardian, Link sailing, and
that look on your face.
Look at what's right in front of Link. That is definitely the Master Sword, but it doesn't look like it has any signs of decay. So let's zoom up. Now that is the Master Sword in perfect condition. But wait, this could be a flashback. Only Link is holding the Sheikah Slate in this scene, which implies that it probably isn't.
This tells me that you have no recollection of me.
And now this flower right here is extremely important because it is the exact flower that you see on the title of the game. Notice how it's blue and white like Link's tunic?
However,
Now
I
that
think
flower
you are
has
now
to be
ready-
symbolic of
ready
something
to
more.
hear what happened 100 years ago.
Now this thing right here is massive, but what is it? I'm led to believe that it is some form of King Dodongo. Now this here looks like Zelda, but I'm led to believe that this instance right here takes place in the past, and I'll explain why later in the video. Now this right here reminds me a lot of the Oliphants in The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Now here's Link and Zelda again, but the thing to notice isn't them, but these statues. Now whose face does this remind you of? It bears a striking resemblance to Ganondorf himself. Now this right here is extremely important because this is our first glimpse at Zelda's actual face. Now here we actually see the Guardians taking out their wrath on Hyrule Castle Town. But if you notice, they're coming from the direction of the castle and not going inward. Which proves that the Guardians were created to protect Hyrule but were corrupted.
It was more than
Now I believe that this scene right here takes place in this present, but if you notice, Zelda has the Sheikah Slate on her left hip.
nothing.
Now here's Zelda again, but this time the Sheikah Slate is on her right hip. And if you look closely, she doesn't have the regular blue eyes that she usually has. They're more of a greenish blue. Okay, now here there's a Gerudo standing beside Link, and beside her is that same creature that we saw pulling Link earlier. But I don't think it's just some kind of walrus. I think it's a completely new race of creatures that they're going to be introducing in the game, besides the new bird creatures. Now this scene breaks an extremely important convention because Zelda has always been, and I quote from Sonic 06, a strong queen who doesn't cry no matter what happens. Now what weapon is Link using here? If you ask me, those are definitely the ice arrows. Now this right here gives us the confirmation of Gorons being in the game. Now what this looks like is definitely the Great Fairy. Now here's our first look at what the Gerudo might possibly look like in the entire game. And if you ask me, this is my absolute favorite design they have made so far. Now this right here looks like a Zora. Now this looks like another shrine, but notice all the red particles floating through the air like it's corrupted or something. I think this shrine plays a special significance in the game because I don't remember any of the shrines that they showed at E3 looking anything like this. Okay, now watch this scene as I slow it down very carefully. Alright, now who's this? What is he holding and in what condition is it in? Oh, I would have never noticed that had I not slowed it down. And did you notice what the Guardian is targeting? This scene isn't just a show to show off Zelda using magic. This is Zelda protecting Link from a Guardian because Link is so worn out he can't move on. And it is not because Link is a wimp, because look at the condition of that sword. Something very powerful will have to put it in that condition. So there's your proof. The sword did not decay over time. It was damaged in battle.
You must save her, my daughter.
Okay, let's stop it because we need to hear that clip again.
You must save her, my daughter.
Now, when I first heard that, I thought it might be the King of Hyrule entreating Link to save Zelda, but after hearing it over and over again, it could be the King telling Zelda that she must save Hyrule because people can often refer to their mother country when they use pronouns like she and her. And From the footage we've seen so far, Zelda doesn't seem to be in any immediate danger. Now this right here looks like the Great Deku Tree, but notice his leaves. They seem like they're in blossom. So, my theory is that the Guardians attacked sometime in the spring, and that this is possibly Zelda going to the Great Deku Tree for help. Well guys, thank you for watching this analysis, and I swear I did not watch anybody else's analysis before I did this one. Post your opinions and comments below, and be sure to subscribe to mine and other people's channels. This has been another episode of Justice to Free.